I think she's angry.
I don't know if I remember how to do this.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's been forever. What's going on, everybody? What is happening?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. It's Sunday Live Haul. This is our first show since like March 7th, I think was the last one.
I think so.
We did. It's the 3rd of April now. A lot's been happening. I think when we did our last show, I think we had just found our house.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone who hasn't watched in a while, or maybe you're new to the channel, I'm Katy. This is Vikki, aka Victoria, when she wants to be taken very seriously, aka still very overwhelmed with the unpacking of the house, aka my fiance. And basically, like what, a month ago, maybe a tiny bit over a month ago, we found out that our landlord was selling the house that we were living in, that I've been in for almost 5 years. You've been there for 9 years. And the market's crazy here, so he wants to sell the house, and we had until May 31st to get out.
Mm-hmm.
But because the market's crazy, we basically lost our minds, went crazy, looked for a house, and ended up getting one. So
yeah, so we found everything. We found a new place very quickly. We didn't need until June 1st. So, but that being said, means that from the time of finding out we needed to move, we packed up our entire house and moved into a new house 3 weeks, 4 weeks later.
hold on a second, guys.
In case, Teresa, our new Wi-Fi sucks. Our new Wi-Fi is upgraded. It's the same Wi-Fi we had before, and we paid for an even more expensive package where all we use is the Wi-Fi.
Okay, well, she had like a bunch of tabs open, and she had told me multiple times over the last 2 days, don't you dare touch my computer because I have all these tabs. Anyway, hopefully that will help.
Is it done?
We'll see. Anyway, guys, we're in the new house. We've been unpacking like crazy.
Nobody can hear us.
Yes, they can. I reloaded that, so settle your shit.
I'm reading the chat.
Anyway, it should be coming up here in a second.
Stop talking. All right, better now? Now you can?
Yeah, it should be better.
Much better. Okay, good. Good.
All right. Anyway, we're in the new house. We are technically unpacked, so mostly right now. The biggest thing is your shipping room, right?
Yeah, so which is almost done. Mm-hmm. So we are 100%, every single box is unpacked, which is huge. And everything is in the room it's supposed to be in. Everything is basically put away, and all we have left to do is hang curtains and artwork on the walls. Mm-hmm. So day 6, and we're in business.
Yep.
It only took us 2 days to get 3 days to get our inventory all done, and so that we could actually function and ship out of the house. But as you're going to see from our numbers shortly, the fact that neither one of us have listed a single thing in 3 weeks, it definitely hurts. It hurts. You spend a fortune to move, and then your sales go in the toilet for a month. So it's good times. Good times.
This last week was when mine finally caught up to me and said, "Yeah, you can't just not do anything." So. But anyway, I love my little cave. I can actually close the door. We have these shutters on every window, so it's really easy to just basically I'm in like darkness, like a little.
She's like a hobbit.
Yeah, I'm like a little orc back in my cave. I love it, and and you have this nice big open space. And yes, we do. We love
Tommy. We love this house.
We love
honestly.
The new house.
If this house had been for sale and in our budget, we probably would have bought it. If hopefully the market goes down and the owner wants to sell this in another 3 years or so, I would buy it. Mm-hmm. This is actually kind of my dream house. It's a beautiful neighborhood. We love the neighborhood even better than the neighborhood we were in before. And we love the house and all of our local peeps. We are having our meetup here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So all the local peeps can come and peep the new house and hang out. You'll see it's much more inviting and open for meetups and parties and stuff like that. So
absolutely,
we're excited. And yes, Michelle, there may be room for more Christmas trees for sure. Tracy, nobody really does rent to own. I don't even think that's a thing anymore. but definitely not an option with this house. I haven't seen that as an option anywhere. I don't think they've done that in years, and I don't even know if they do that on the West Coast or the West, Southwest area.
Yeah. No, that's good. No, we're definitely here for the next 2 years. We might see if we can extend it longer.
It might be 3 years. We'll see. We were able to sign a 2-year lease, a minimum 2 years. I do not want to do this again in 2 years. I will do kicking and screaming. Am I going to move again in 2 years? So whether it's to purchase or move again, I don't intend to move again. So as long as he wants to rent this to us, we'll be here for at least another 3 to 5 years is my plan. And then we'll either buy in 5 years. If we can't buy this one, we'll buy something in 5 years. I'm not doing it again in 2 years. This was a nightmare to move.
Yeah. Part of the issue,
and so expensive, honestly. I mean, it's $10,000 to move it. It's between first month, last month, movers, cleaners, paintings. It's not. We're past the days of being able to ask a couple of friends to help us move for a case of beer and some pizza.
Allison wants to know where the pool is.
I have not put the pool up in the backyard yet, but I will be getting the pool in the next couple weeks.
We will be doing it. I will say.
Speaking of, Allison, you were supposed to be our very first house guest.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Let us know when you're coming. You're supposed to be coming in.
You were supposed to be here before Mel and Deb. You were supposed to be here in a week and a half.
Yeah, come on.
What's happening?
Come on, figure that out. Anyway, I will say one thing. We definitely you gotta. Once you get to a certain point, you get movers to move your shit. However, I did tell Victoria over here, Vikki, who doesn't like to ask anybody for help. I told her next time this happens,
there will be no next time.
Okay. Whether it's in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, next time we have to move, the thing that made this the most stressful was, there were a couple of things. First of all, the house was not as clean as it was supposed to be. So we ended up having to do a lot of cleaning before
the house was filthy.
So that was part of it.
It was filthy.
That was part of it.
It's a big, beautiful home that I swear they didn't clean for the entire 3 years they lived here.
So we had to do a lot of cleaning before we moved in. But the second thing, the biggest thing that made it really, really stressful was we moved all of Vicki's inventory ourselves. And we did get some help from Dana and Crystal, but it wasn't enough. And it was too much of Vicki's got this thing in her head that she can't ask anybody for help. And I said, next time we do this, I understand that we have to do the inventory ourselves because it's delicate and it's you need it to be done a certain way. But we're getting a team of our reseller friends together and they're going to happily help us. And it's going to make it a lot easier. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a lot. And we can give them more than pizza. Maybe we'll give them fancier food. Caviar and crackers
Weirdos. Well, apparently you guys missed us a little bit. We have about 100 people watching live right now, and we just started a few minutes ago. So I think we'll probably get up to our 130, 140 range that we're usually in live. So that's nice. We have seen a lot of attrition on our channel in the past several months. At least I have. I pay attention to the numbers. We do only do one show a week. So I think we've lost a lot of our early loyal members. But most of you guys have stuck around. Yeah. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of work, guys.
Things have been busy.
Yeah.
We've been busy.
Yeah. All right, now Allison's making all kinds of excuses about all this stuff she's got to go do. Whatever, Allison. It's now or never. Well, okay, that's not true, but whatever. Anyway, okay, so do you want to get into our show?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. We break the show up into 3 parts. And the first part, we look at our numbers for the last week, which let me tell you, they're going to be real rough. Like I said, this last week, it really caught up that we haven't listed anything in forever. And then the middle part of our show, we look at our sales highlights. So we just grabbed some stuff that we've sold over the last month because we haven't been doing the show. And the last part of our show is our haul. And we show you some of the stuff. Obviously, we didn't do any sourcing this week.
I haven't done any sourcing in almost a month, guys. Sorry. I do have some stuff to show because we haven't had a show in almost a month.
And I had some stuff too.
Nothing fantastic. I promise you that the haul content and the sales content is usually much better than it is this week. So cut us a little bit of slack, please.
Don't do it. Anyway, so let's go ahead and look at our numbers. Let me move this around. We're doing this all on Vicki's computer this time. All right, here's my number. So this is for just this last week ending yesterday. 7 eBay orders. Oh my.
It's awful.
Oh, it's so bad. This is bad. But you know what? I'm shocked I even did over $1,000. So 7 eBay orders, 10 between Etsy and Thrilling, 7 of those being Etsy, 3 being Thrilling, nothing on Instagram, 5 with Grilled and Mercari, 3 Grilled, 2 Mercari. So a total of 22 outgoing orders. eBay gross sales, $723.78. Real bad, real bad. Etsy and Thrilling together, $790.10, with $370 of that being on Thrilling. Again, nothing on Instagram. And then $370 between Grailed and Mercari, with Mercari being a $177. So my total gross sales, I'm actually shocked I almost made it to $2,000. $1,883.88. My shipping, pretty low, $93.21. You can see the breakdown of all the fees. Cost of goods, lower than what I normally have, but obviously because my sales were lower. So $300 there. My net total sales, $1,288.58.
Listen, we have a bigger, expensive house. You need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
I cannot be your sugar mama.
Don't worry. We'll be looking at your numbers next. And gross average sale price, $85.63. Net average sale price, $58.57. So Michelle says, thanks to the poor reception, we can't even see your numbers. Silver lining. One of the things you guys can try to do is when you're looking on YouTube, you can make sure it's not. Yeah. Okay. See, in its flip, it says just refreshed and it fixed it. You can also downgrade the screen quality, whatever you call it, the resolution, and sometimes that'll help too.
Quick, I just wanted to say, I know because Greg had given me permission to share this on the GoFundMe update. You see Dupage Picker, Greg is in the chat. Those of you that have been following along, we have a GoFundMe that has been going on for the last 5 weeks for Greg. He has been diagnosed with leukemia. It's a fairly rare form of adult leukemia. And he's been aggressively receiving aggressive treatment, I should say, near where he lives in Illinois. And so far, the treatment has been really good. Mm-hmm. You know how aggressive chemotherapy can be for people, and they basically have to try to kill you to save you. So it's been difficult, and he's been receiving some very aggressive forms of chemotherapy and living within the hospital for almost 5 weeks. He was just released yesterday or day before yesterday. He's going to be in some temporary housing until they find him some housing near the hospital. He's going to be continuing his treatment for the next several weeks, chemotherapy of 2 to 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. But they did do a bone marrow biopsy, and there was no cancer found in his spine, which is a really, really good sign. So he's responding very well to the treatment. It's very positive information, but he is definitely going to be in it for a bit longer, and it's, not an easy trek to go through. So if you have it in your ability to help, the GoFundMe, the link will be below. I believe. Do you still have it on this show? I don't still have it on this show. I'm sorry. It's on our last show. If you go to our YouTube channel, it's under our channel, and it's also in the Boss Facebook group. And we've shared it a few times. Those of you again that know us for quite a bit know that Katy had a pretty horrible accident 4 years ago, and the reseller community came together and created a GoFundMe and very much helped her and I during her recovery. Mm-hmm. And this is just a way of, the reselling community comes together and helps its own. And this is our way of helping to pay it forward for our friend Greg.
If one of our admins in the chat could, one of our moderators could find that link and put it in the chat, we would appreciate it very much. So.
Yeah. So anyway, he's doing great. And I just wanted to give you guys an update. I know some people have asked. I did share it on the GoFundMe, but if you did not subscribe to updates or don't go and check, then you may not have received that information. But we had initially had a goal of about $10,000, and that's just to keep his storage paid for, which is storage has all of his inventory, his entire business is in storage. And the last thing that this man needs is when he is finally able to resume going back to work is to not have anything to do. Right. We also know as resellers that if you don't list and you don't ship, you do not make money. And he is not in the position right now to be listing or shipping anything because he was inpatient until day before yesterday for over a month. So just to let you guys know, that's what the money is for. Very basic necessities to pay his car payment and cell phone and keep his inventory paid for, the roof over, the storage paid for to make sure that he has the business to go back to, and also to help him for the next couple of months. Because let's face it, physically, if this cancer is going to be beaten, which it is, he's going to need all the help he can get. You can't just walk out of aggressive chemotherapy and go back to work 60 hours a week and be fine. So I think everybody understands that. So just trying to do the basics of what we can to help Greg, make sure he can recover physically.
Yep, absolutely. I do want to point out, look how much taller you are in this setup.
I know, because I'm in my own chair.
Look at that. We can put stuff on the screen, and it's not like Vikki going, hey.
I'm on there. You can actually, my face is not covered by the little things, whatever you pop up here, because I'm in my own chair.
Yeah, Greg says he's not missing the next Boss Reseller remix.
That's right. He's gonna be
living in Vegas.
He's gonna be ready and back out here living in Vegas.
That's right.
By October.
We're putting that out into the universe. It's gonna happen. All right. Let's go back. It was your turn. I mean, I like the way you're avoiding talking about your numbers, but after you insulted me, so yeah, you're not going to be my sugar mama with those numbers.
I'm not going to be anybody's sugar mama with these numbers. No, not at all. So 26 eBay. I had 13 between Etsy and Thrilling. I had 6 on Etsy, 7 on Thrilling. Nothing on Depop. 4 on Poshmark. Poshmark has completely shit the bed for me ever since they made their change to the algorithm. I know some people are saying it hasn't affected them. For me, it has completely killed my entire Poshmark business. I have changed absolutely nothing. I use my bot. I use what I'm supposed to do for my auto sharing and sending offers and all that kind of stuff. Listing, because I also do delist and relist. It's just as if I'd been doing listing, even though I haven't the last few weeks. So yeah, Poshmark shit the bed for me. I went from making $2,000 to $3,000 a month to making, I don't even think I'm going to make $1,000 in the last 6 weeks combined.
That's crazy.
1 Macari order for a total of 44 orders for the week. 1389-ish on eBay, 678 between Etsy and Thrilling, 108 on Poshmark by 4 Poshmark sales. It's pathetic. $48 on Macari. My total week, 22, 23, 29. 179 in shipping. And then you see my fees for the various platforms broken down. My cost of goods is always relatively low, 135. My total net sales, 1656. So for those of you that are new to the channel, I do tend to like to have my sales be around $3,500 to $4,000 total gross for the week. This is pretty rough.
Yeah.
Even for this time of the year, even for what's happening with the world as far as world events, that's pretty bad.
It's real bad. Who knew you got to list stuff to be able to sell stuff?
Yeah.
Who knew that was a thing?
I know, right?
Yeah. Anyway,
rough week, guys.
Real rough week. And then we have a bunch of traveling coming up. So we need to get our butts in gear. I had actually bought some of the stuff I'm going to be showing you today. I had actually bought some stuff and I totally was thinking oh yeah, I'm going to be able to process this and photograph it. So I have stuff to list by the time I get here. I still have stuff to list from my last batch because
we've got nothing done.
Well, because I thought that we were going to be working a little bit the last couple of weeks, but because of how much work there was to do and how much of the cleaning and stuff like that we had to do, it kind of it basically turned into, nope, this is all we're doing for the rest of the time until we get into the house. But
Bonnie, thank you for your donation. I'm very sorry for your loss with your son. Yeah, I think everybody has had cancer touch them in some way, right? Yeah. We all have a beloved friend or family member, or maybe ourselves, or your mom, your dad, whatever. I think everybody, cancer's a bitch, right? We've all known someone we care about, and it's something we can all identify with.
They're the most important people in my life. It was cancer gone, so it's the worst.
What are we showing?
I'm getting ready to show our sales highlights, but there was something I wanted to bring up real quick. Okay. How's your little lifesaver candy over there? What flavor did you get?
Raspberry.
You got raspberry? Hook me up with an orange. Come on. Come on. She found my Christmas stocking stash of candy, and so I had to hook her up. All right, let's go ahead and look at our sales highlights. This is either really cool stuff we sold or interesting or educational. In the usually it's the last week, but since we haven't been around, we're doing, well, you got a little list there?
Yeah, because not everything's sold on eBay. Some of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. So we're going to go ahead and show these, but keep in mind, again, these are things that we've sold over the last almost 30 days.
Well, for me, I only went back like 2 weeks.
Oh.
Sorry.
For her, she only went back 2 weeks.
I didn't grab a lot.
Okay. Let me go ahead and share. Why don't you start with this? What's going on with this?
So this is just a jacket that I picked up at the bins. I talked about these things before, but this is just a vintage. It's one of those super soft, old school brown leather bomber jackets. Just a classic. If you show the tag, it's vintage LL Bean. This actually sold on Thrilling, and Thrilling it sold for $199.95. I picked it up at the bins. It's kind of heavy, so I probably paid $5 or $6 for it. It sold on Thrilling because I don't discount my prices on Thrilling. So you see the cross through here on eBay, but it's easier for me to show you the item on the unsold on eBay.
Yep.
So it sold for $199.95. I paid about $5 for it. Took less than a month to sell.
Nice. Very good. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. First up for me is this cool Panavision Panaflex Millennium film camera t-shirt. I've sold some Panavision t-shirts before. And it's like I priced it high, but I wasn't expecting it necessarily sell crazy fast. But it's kind of, I think it's one of those things where, the right person sees it at the right time. So I had listed this and it sold like the same day that I listed it, and it went to a freight forwarder in California, I think. So it's probably going to like Japan or something like that. But I sold it for the price you see there, $97.99. I paid like $10 for it. I listed this a couple weeks ago, and it sold pretty much right away. So it's a cool shirt. I think I like this kind of stuff. First of all, because I like movies, and it's just like vintage tech type stuff. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Tech core.
Yeah, man. Tech core. All right.
This is also a Thrilling sale. It actually sold on Thrilling for $129.95. It's just a faux fur, 60s, 70s faux fur, actually very 60s faux fur long coat with these big gold buttons. Yeah, it's a dark brown, almost a black. It's kind of one of those hard to photograph colors, as you can tell.
Yeah, it almost looks gray.
Yeah, you just kind of, well, that's to show the detail. And I actually put that in the listing that the color contrast was done to show the detail.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a pretty, it's not a small, it was a medium. So that actually probably helped. And it had some damage in the lining, but as you can see, I disclosed that. And yeah, right there, just a little.
Very nice. Very nice.
Sold on Thrilling. I honestly can't remember where I got this jacket. It may have been an estate sale.
Mm-hmm.
I know I wouldn't have paid more than $10 for it though. So let's say I paid $10 for it. It sold for $129.95. It took a while to sell.
Nice. All right. Next up for me is this awesome Cypress Hill House of Pain t-shirt. Yeah, that's what it is.
I know.
Lifesaver girl.
I was singing.
Insane in the membrane.
That's not how I sang it.
I was more of a House of Pain fan than Cypress Hill, to be honest. But anyway, this one I definitely took less than I wanted to. I wanted to sell the shirt for $300. I paid $100 for it. Got it from yesterday's fits. But I needed some sales, and so this one's actually from this week. And somebody offered $225, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sell it. I'm making money on it. Gonna make the sale. So yeah, so $100 into $225, but it's like super faded, tie-dyed, discolored. I don't even think it does it have a tag. No, it doesn't have a tag in it anymore. But none of that really matters when it comes to this. But I think this is an awesome t-shirt. I love it. Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I still think I could have gotten $300 for it, but whatever. Sold it for $225.
Hi, Patique. We will be doing a home tour next week. Katy told me there is a way for us to do it while we're doing our live on Sunday. So we'll do a tour next week.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, we should have all the things hung, the curtains and the pictures and stuff. And, I'm a little bit anal. I have to make sure that it looks perfect before you all see it. But we'll do a full home tour
Absolutely
next week.
Hey, guys, remember these shorts?
What were we calling them? Nut huggers?
I don't know.
You guys were calling them like nut huggers in the chat. So I picked these up at the bins, and they're very light. So I paid maybe 75 cents for them. And they sold actually for more money than this, because they actually sold on Depop. They sold for $99.95 on Depop plus shipping.
And what happened when you sold them?
I couldn't find them.
She couldn't find them, you guys. She couldn't find them. She only has one bin, and she literally just got these. If you remember, I think she might have shown them the last show that we had. She had just gotten them.
They were listed less than a week.
She only has one bin that is for that they would be in
Swimwear,
and they weren't in there. And so then I searched everywhere in her office, because I'm like, well, you showed them on our show, so they've got to be somewhere.
and this is while we're in the middle of moving, by the way.
Yeah, and so she's like freaking out, and I'm like, I think I needed to be somewhere. I was like supposed to be leaving, and I'm like, well, I got to deal with this first. And so I looked through everything. Then I was like, well, the only thing I can think of, because they're very tiny, they're very, very tiny. The only thing I think of is that they accidentally got put away in a different bin, like with some other stuff. So I literally went through every single one of her bins, minus 2, because it was like the second to last or the third to last one I looked in.
And I have like 50 bins.
A lot of bins. I went through every single bin. I only looked like halfway down, because I was like, I know they're going to be somewhere near the top. And sure enough, third to last bin, there they were. And it was like, ah.
And they did get tangled up with something else.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, they were really small, so they were just, yeah. So anyway,
Katy saved the day.
I did save the day. All right, so this is going to be a fun one. I just sold this one on the 30th. Shipped it. He already got it yesterday. Sold this t-shirt. So this is a Stanley DeSantis t-shirt, Budweiser t-shirt. It was on sale for 10% off. So it actually sold for $89.99. Shipped it. Dude already got it yesterday. And, great sale. This t-shirt, that's probably one of the higher prices for this shirt. But I like it. Everybody remembers all the Budweiser ads in the 90s and stuff. And the Stanley DeSantis stuff. He does a lot of movie stuff, but he also does some of the advertising stuff as well. Anyway, definitely a vintage shirt. You can see right there, it says 1995 right there. So I get 2 notifications late last night. One of them is a message from the guy. The other one is a feedback from the guy. And first of all, let me read you the message that he sent me, because it's so frustrating, because, you think eBay is hard to get feedback removed. Etsy, they'll
never remove it.
Impossible. And it doesn't really matter, but it's just really frustrating because there's nothing I can do about it. And sorry, this is a big deal. Okay, so this is what the guy says. He opens a case or whatever, saying he has an issue. It says, item is different than what I expected, not vintage or authentic. Ideal resolution. I want a refund. And then he says, clearly a reprint, expected vintage. And he includes a screenshot from a website. Okay, so you guys can see my pictures here. This is what I was looking up just a minute ago. This is what I'm so frustrating, because
they stole your pictures on the website.
Look at, there's 3 different websites that have my picture, and they have my freaking title, okay? And they're selling them for $19.95. So this guy, I mean, on the one hand, I can't blame him for being upset. On the other hand, I'm like, okay, you got the shirt in your possession. I don't think you understand what vintage is, because I guarantee you, if you were to order this, what it would be is a really shitty print on a shirt that's probably going to be like a printed tag.
Your freaking picture.
That is my picture. This is my picture. And this is the only picture they give you. You can order it in all these different sizes. You can even get it in different colors. It's going to look terrible. It's going to be like on a Gildan tag or like a printed tag, Hanes tag or something like that. And it's going to be an awful shirt. It's not going to be a Stanley DeSantis. So he gets the shirt, and the shirt he got is a Stanley DeSantis.
It's
has
your
this
shirt.
freaking, yes, it's the actual shirt, has this tag, but because he saw that website, he thinks that he got ripped off, and he could have just gotten it for $20. So first of all, I'm really frustrated that this is what these lame ass scammers are doing, is putting this stuff out there.
So did you reply to him? What'd you say?
Well, yes, I replied to
Tell
him.
me.
So I said, the one you bought is absolutely not a reprint, but the other one you found certainly is. This is a scammer selling unlicensed reprints of popular vintage. They're using legit photos, mine in this case, to sell people fake crap. The picture is my shirt, but what you would get is a shoddy print on a cheap t-shirt. Sellers like this are ruining the vintage market, but I appreciate you immediately attacking my integrity. Rude. I actually do have a return policy, but I don't give refunds without my product back in my possession. And they didn't respond. But like I said, I got 2 notifications. One was his message. The other one was his feedback. And let's look at his feedback, which I greatly appreciate. He says, as you can see right here, don't be a sucker like me and pay a premium price for an item that was described as vintage by the store. Paid $100 for a shirt thinking it was truly vintage from the 90s, as it was described in the listing. But what showed up was a reprint that I could have bought online for $20 elsewhere. Like I said, I'm the sucker here, but I don't think it's right the store is falsely advertising their items and taking advantage of consumers. He has the shirt, so he clearly doesn't know vintage, and
you can feel the difference. So anyway, you need to reply to this.
And he included
put your information.
And he included the picture, which I will reply to it, but I'm just really frustrated because it's just basically they stole my title and my picture. So it looks like I have the exact same listing. It's great. It's great, great, great.
Good job.
Yep. So that's my spiel. He hasn't responded since I had messaged him that last night. So I don't know what his plan is because he didn't say anything like,
okay, let's go. That's pretty.
No sympathy for my
Oh,
plight.
there's plenty of sympathy. I just think it's a really shitty thing.
It is a really shitty thing. So yeah, great.
Okay, so this is my one decent sale for the week. I actually sold this last night for the price you see there. This was actually also a bins find. So I paid maybe $5 or $6 for it based on weight. Again, it's heavy. It's like 2 to 3 pounds at least. So it sold for $279.97.
Is the show is
what is happening?
I don't know. It doesn't. I don't see. Hold on a second. Hold, please. We weren't getting any messages. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay. Sorry. It just wasn't coming up on, it had stopped on the same.
Are you done messing around with this now so we can do the show?
Are you done being so rude? Go ahead.
I can't see anything now.
Okay, go ahead.
Now I don't remember what it was. Anyway,
Sorry,
it's whatever. I got it at the bins. It sold for what you see there. Go ahead. Move on.
All right. Next, do you remember the shirt? Do you remember where I got it?
I handed it to you. I got it at the bins.
Okay, so she got it at the bins. So this one, I still don't think it's anybody. I think this is just a random, somebody got put a picture of like their girlfriend on a t-shirt or something like that. I don't think it's anything. I just called it an RT, and guess what? It sold for $89.99.
Ridiculous.
So I paid $0. I put down $5 so I can remember where I got it from. You paid what, 50 cents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So thanks. Appreciate it.
Could be somebody. We just don't know who it is.
I don't think it is. I mean, it's not like it has any kind of copyright.
Pretty lady. I don't know. She could be an artist, a singer, a dancer. She could be somebody that's just not well known in the United States by us.
I don't think so though. All right. Go ahead. Next one.
So this one finally sold. I bought this at an estate sale. I paid, I think, $30 for the whole lot, maybe $40 for the whole lot. I didn't have it very long, actually. Maybe a month.
You just said this
two.
finally sold.
Sorry.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Maybe I had it listed for about a month or so. It sold for the price you see there. It ended up selling when I put my store on sale. So it sold for $279.97. Buyer paid $50 for shipping. It did cost closer to $60 to ship, plus a ton of shipping supplies. Because, okay, this is Lenox. So these are all bone china figurines. And this is a wooden shelf with a mirrored back.
Mm-hmm.
So
luckily we had the right boxes for everything. So it actually was, while it took a lot of packing material, it wasn't super difficult.
No, it was pretty easy. I already had a box that it fit in. I just actually need to just cut it down. So it was not a difficult thing to ship. It was just big. That's all. So again, this is one of those things. I charge a flat rate for shipping. I just kind of guesstimate what I think something is going to cost or close to it. And I put in, $29.95, $39.95, $49.95, depending on what it is. And if it sells to say it sold to Arizona or Colorado or California, it probably would have only cost about $30 to ship. Katy didn't ship it, Liz. I did.
I didn't. I just had
She only makes boxes for me.
No, it wasn't hard. She thought it was going to be, and then she was worried she wasn't going to have a box for it. And then I think found there was like a box right there that was already ready to go.
Yeah. So, if this was one of those things, because it was a large box, it's oversized and it was fairly heavy, maybe about 12 pounds altogether. If you had calculated shipping in, this would have looked like some astronomical shipping cost on the East Coast. And this did actually sell to the East Coast. It only cost me like $5 or $6 to ship it. I think it was like 55 or 60 to ship. And they paid 50. So,
Yep.
So yeah, it was kind of cute. If you like golden retrievers, I mean, they're cute little puppy figurines.
Now, would you have kept it if it was all Dachshunds?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
What if they were the same color as Ripley?
Maybe.
Yeah, you would have. I think you would have. You have like those other little things in the bedroom. What are those little weird little figurines
pigs
that you have on the little tiny ones that are all up on the?
They're pigs.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, they look the same as this to me. So, all right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Next up for me is this really cool. It's going to be just sitting right there. JT jerk.
I'm surprised there's not an S at the end.
The women, Million Women March. This sweatshirt, I think I paid I didn't pay a ton for it, but I paid like $25, $30. Got it from yesterday's fits. Just a really cool t-shirt from the sweatshirt from the 90s. And I priced it high because I think it's pretty awesome. And I haven't had it that long. I think I've only had it for like maybe a month and a half. And I sold it for 10% off on Etsy. So it went for $179.99. So definitely one of my better sales just last month. $179.99. So,
and yeah, according to the dogs, so I got those at an estate sale, Allison, and definitely I used tissue paper and bubble wrap on every figurine individually, and then lots of bubble wrap and shrink wrap on the display thing.
Yep. All right. Next up. Oh,
Jesus.
Look, it's Jesus.
I found Jesus, and someone finally bought Jesus.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad though.
Jesus, I paid $1.99 for him at a thrift store at Savers, I believe, actually. And I was with Lorna. That's how long ago I've had him for like 2 years. Yep. I swear he's been listed for like 2 years. So I was pretty excited that he finally sold. I'm surprised it took as long as it did. Look at how handsome Jesus is.
And he was one of the first things that we moved because we took over some artwork before the movers came. And so he made it to our new house
and then sold.
It sold and we had to go get him back.
I found Jesus and then I sold him.
Yep.
It sold for the $167.97 plus the $24.95 shipping. He sold to Massachusetts. That's like a pretty hot Jesus. He's pretty
dreamy, his eyes are.
Right? He's got these beautiful blue eyes. I'm pretty sure Jesus did not have blue eyes, but you never know. Anyway.
Yep.
He did. He jumped off the wall and tried to hit Britt on the head once.
He did.
He finally sold. So I got a good price for Jesus. I love to sell anything that's like, painted on black velvet. Yeah.
I will say that Britt was very quick on the draw. And I think that God preemptively was punishing him because he knew that as soon as the painting jumped off the wall and hit him in the head or tried to hit him in the head, Britt was going to call out his name in vain, which is
that's exactly what he did.
He did exactly. Very loud. He did it very quickly.
Liz, I do think that's Jesus's glamour shot. That's very funny.
Inappropriate. All right. Anything else about Jesus?
Nope. Okay. He sold.
There you go.
God bless.
All right. Next up is my awesome Jesse Jackson for President 1984 campaign t-shirt. I think I got this at yesterday's fits. I didn't pay more than like $20 for it, but I sold it for 10% off what you see there. So $179.99. I'm surprised it took as long as it did to sell. I think I've had this shirt for like a good 6 months, but I mean, come on, man.
It's a
Jesse Jackson shirt. Come on. It's the ringer tee and everything. Awesome shirt. All right. Next up.
This actually sold. You're looking at the sale price. Sorry. It sold on Etsy. This was a bins find. This is a bins find from California, actually.
Ooh.
So when we were just there a couple months ago, so it hasn't been listed very long, but I always grab anything vintage and cashmere. You know, vintage cashmere is made much nicer than, say, the cheap ass cashmere stuff that you can buy at TJ Maxx at Christmas time now. Cashmere used to be made, it used to be an indicator of quality. And that is not any longer the case unless it's a specific brand name. But because you can find, you know, Kohl's products, you know, whatever, selling for in cashmere. It's not necessarily luxury anymore. But nicely made vintage items that are pure cashmere are still really nice. So Bins Find sold for $129.95. This is just yeah, I've got it. I think the last review is the review from this person too on it. Yeah.
Yep.
Identical to a $700 Pringle. Pringle is also a name that you should look for, which is a made in Scotland sweater company. But it's a very nicely made sweater, and it sold
very cool
pretty quickly.
Nice. All right. Speaking of vintage tech, look at this awesome flying toaster.
I remember that as a screensaver for sure.
So it was a Berkeley Systems After Dark screensaver, and the flying toasters was like the kind of probably the most iconic of them. And
that and the dancing baby, wasn't that around the same time? The Ally McBeal dancing baby.
I don't know. It was a
screensaver. It was a screensaver. Somebody. Liz knows what I'm talking about. I guarantee.
Did you just call Liz old?
No, Liz is on the same wavelength as me. Is what I was going to say.
Anyway, so I picked this up because I immediately remember the flying toasters. I'm like, oh yeah. So I listed it. It only took a couple days to sell, and it sold on Mercari. Somebody made an offer for $95, and I was like, yeah, I'll sell for $95 because I only paid like $10 for it. So, but a nice quick sale. And
see, Liz does remember. Liz is like my spirit animal.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's my vintage tech sale of the week.
Allison.
I hated that stupid dancing baby.
I already ignored your 50 comment earlier.
All right. Here's your last one.
So this actually sold for the price you see there. I have probably had this in my inventory for, I don't even know, a year. A year. I've sold out. I think this actually was Katy's, and Katy didn't want it because it was too damaged on the sleeve. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I paid anything for this.
I don't think I would have given it to you. Maybe we were at the same sale or something like that, and I told you could get it. I don't know.
I don't remember, but I wouldn't have paid more than $10, $15 for it because I'm cheap. So, yeah, it sold for $29.95, and it didn't sell to anybody in Florida, which was weird. It sold to somebody in New England. People in New England hate Miami teams. I don't know who bought that, but it must have been a transplant. He must be the guy that goes with his friends and wears the opposing team gear all the time and gets razzed the whole weekend.
Yep.
So
there you go.
It was not a clothing vault item.
Yeah, no. All right, last one for me. This was actually a thrilling sale. And this one I paid like $25, $30 for as well, but this sold on Thrilling. So not exactly that price there. It sold for $199.99. But I always do pretty well with UCLA stuff. And I thought this was a cool kind of,
that is a cool one.
Kind of color block, interesting design sweatshirt. And it's a chalk line, which of course the jackets are super popular. But it did take a little longer to sell, but I probably had it for about 6 months. But like I said, I paid $25, $30 for it and sold it for $200 on Thrilling. Thrilling, which it's my new favorite. It's my new favorite site that I love to hate because overall it performs terribly. It's replaced Mercari as like my least favorite site that occasionally gives me great sales, and it makes me mad that I have to keep doing anything with it. So
yes, because Thrilling takes all of 5 minutes.
I know, but it's irritating because I feel like it could be so much better, but because of the way
it could be, but it's new. It does look like your Kors sweatshirt. It really does.
Yeah, kinda.
Kinda. And it's not a new chair, Allison. I've had this chair for 5 years. It's just we're in my office, so I'm not sitting on a short little plastic folding chair.
Well, you know what I did? I brought my own chair.
With her rollerblade wheels, she thinks she's fancy now.
I am fancy now. my old wheels were really bad on the wood floor, and I was going to get a new chair. And then my friend Lou said, just get rollerblade wheels. And I said, rollerblade wheels. And he said, rollerblade wheels. I said, I'm going to get rollerblade wheels. So I did, and they're awesome. $30 as opposed to paying a few $100 for a new chair.
Does anybody see my very cool new my peacock lamp in the background there? I'm very excited. I'm pointing
Very nice.
opposite
Very nice.
direction. It's so cute.
Well, if you just point at the lamp, you'll be pointing in the correct direction. That's the lamp. Point at it. Oh, why are your wheels so loud? You know what? You need rollerblade wheels. Listen, you hear that? Listen to this.
Yeah.
Silent.
I don't have rollerblade wheels.
I know, and yours is like, and it's like not smooth at all. Not smooth at all, guys.
Yeah, apparently I didn't know what they were either, Allison. They're apparently
they're like they're rollerblade wheels, but they put them on the things that are compatible with most office chair wheels, because you know how you can just like pop them off, and so you just pop off your old ones and put those ones in, and they seriously amazing on hardwood and carpet.
Oh, we don't have any carpet in this house. Well, in our bedroom, master bedroom has carpet.
Yes.
All right.
Very stealth. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to move this over here.
You can see our mediocre haul. Sorry.
Hey, I got some cool stuff.
All right, you do. You should start then, because I got a bunch of crap.
Well,
I'm just
how come
kidding.
you didn't bring up your lamps that you just got? We went. So real quick. So we moved into this. Definitely, we lived in a nice neighborhood before, but we do feel like we kind of stepped it up a little bit. We're in an even nicer neighborhood.
They call this the OC of Las Vegas, where we live right now. Like Real Housewives of the OC, Real Housewives of Las Vegas is out here now, and I'm not kidding, but that's kind of what
it's like. Real resellers,
real bougie, and they really want us resellers selling used shit out of the garage.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, and so on like Friday or something, we saw all these signs going into our neighborhood saying there's a community garage sale on Saturday. We're like, what? Because we never had that in our old neighborhood. And so we were super excited.
We're like, oh, we're going to get to meet some neighbors.
Yeah.
It'd be a good excuse to walk around or drive around and see the neighborhood.
Vikki forced me to get up early because she wanted to make sure we seized the day.
Mm-hmm.
And
we did run into our friend Barry, though. Barry was like,
I was getting to that. Thanks for stealing my story.
Sorry.
Anyway, you ended up getting all of two things, but they were the same thing. You had two of these lamps.
I got a pair of lamps.
But why didn't you bring them up?
Because they weren't anything fantastic to show.
Okay. And then I got, it's not in here, but I got this board game that's like with the tiny hands from Silent Live, but I wanted the tiny hands. So I'm going to send them to my sister because she'll think it's funny. But we did run into
We
Barry.
have not met our neighbors yet, Greg. I did last weekend, or the weekend before last? No, last weekend when we were here and unpacking the garage, which was all of our inventory. We were like Sanford and Son all over the whole front of the house and the whole garage. The doors were open, moving everything in. And Dana was here with me helping, and Crystal was here. And finally on Sunday or Monday, a neighbor had come outside, and they're all kind of gawking at us a little bit like, what are they doing? Who are these hoarders and moving into our neighborhood, putting everything in their garage?
Yeah.
And I finally went over and I was like, hi, I'm like, just so you know, this is not going to always look like this. It's just today. I promise you, we're not weirdos. We're just, I didn't really get into it, but he seemed friendly. The younger guy next door. Mm-hmm. He was with his kid, and his wife couldn't get into the house fast enough, so she didn't say hi, but he seemed friendly.
Yeah. But yeah, we did end up seeing Barry. But I think I think there was one sale that he actually was there specifically for, maybe because they had video games or something like that. Because I was like, oh, great. He clearly knows something I don't know, and he's going to get
because we didn't look anything up. We just saw the signs.
No, we were just driving around. But it was very disappointing because barely anybody was participating.
Out of the hundreds of houses in this neighborhood, there were 10 that were participating, and they had one table out of stuff. So I guess that's what happens when you have a yearly garage sale. Nobody has enough stuff to get rid of it.
Yeah, so this one over here was real sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to show since we're doing the show in my office now, I had to get my own microphone because I didn't have one before. Look at my cute little
it's a cute little pink microphone.
Pink microphone for the show.
Yep. All right. So why don't you go ahead and show us what you got?
All right. Again, so I have some stuff from the bins, and I have some stuff that I have a friend back in Rhode Island that has been sending me a couple of boxes here and there as she cleans out her mother's estate. So I've got some stuff from her. So these were a bins find. I have a feeling I might have shown these already, and if I have, I apologize. I'm not sure I remember talking about them. But these are some vintage bell-bottom, like true vintage bell-bottom pants, and just this fantastic print. They're pink and blue, and they're like a little bit of teal on them. They have a big zipper up the back, and I love them. I love them. So these are just about to get listed this week. Very light case. And let's see. I picked this up at the bins. And this is a vintage 90s April Cornell. I've talked about this brand on the show before, depending on if you've seen it or not. Let's see, get this to focus a little bit. Don't mind my nails. April Cornell from the 90s. And it's just this is the typical cottagecore before it was cottagecore. So it was prairie dresses, slip dresses. This is a long slip dress with just like an organza layered bottom on the skirt. So it's basically just a plain sage green or celery green slip dress.
Ooh, celery green.
It's very 90s, very cottagecore / grunge. So again, this is the kind of dress that someone would wear with combat boots and maybe a leather jacket over it. Some ripped tights if you want to do the whole Courtney Love thing, or it could be worn with a cute little sweater set and, you know, and a French braid, and you'd be, you know, cute little cottagecore girl. Either one. Let's see. This I had a pick at a friend's house a couple weeks before we moved, where I picked up went through about 75 bags of clothing that came out of this old lady's house, and I went through all 75 bags, and I pulled about 100 items, I think.
Oh, do you have that up here? The other stuff?
Just no, because it's not here. Crystal still has it.
Oh.
I have what she's listed so far, so I do have some very cool stuff to show next week. But one of the things I got was this. Apparently, this woman back in the day really loved her some acrylic paints and appliques and all that kind of stuff from the 90s. So this is this really short, kind of nylon bolero in like windbreaker material, but it has that little bolero. It's a crop jacket that buttons in the front like a bolero jacket would. And it has padded shoulders, and it has, this is all like bedazzled, painted, I don't know what the hell all, but it's cute. It's like this really funky little butter yellow jacket. So again, I paid $1 or $2 per item from that haul. This came from the bins. This is just a vintage men's Western blazer. I love these Western blazers. You can see it's got it's a double point back with the arrows and the arrows in the front. That's how you can tell it's a Western cut, when it's got that double yoke in the back. And this is a Circle S. So a good Western wear brand. I'll probably list this for about $100. They tend to sell around $75 to $100. This came from the old lady's house. More vintage applique. So we've got this like big baggy oversized, kind of like this canvasy sweatshirt, lightweight sweatshirt with like half sleeves, a little bit longer than short sleeves, and some kind of like
it's a
southwest looking desert adobe house on it.
Fancy.
And yes, that Western jacket is totally rockabilly. You're right, Greg. Rockabilly is definitely a keyword to use when you're listing that kind of stuff. So again, this I paid maybe $2 or $3 for. I don't know. It's $30, maybe $40 on a sweatshirt. It's kind of fun. This one I like. This is a vintage 90s. This is heavy. It's very well made. And it's made in the USA. So it may even be late 80s. But it's not necessarily the brand, but we all remember this brand from the 90s. At least the women in the chat probably do. The brand Bongo.
Oh, yeah.
It was the jeans brand. Mostly jeans, but they had other stuff too. And this is just kind of a fun hoodie. It doesn't have the kangaroo pocket in the front. It's just a hoodie with no pockets. Then you've got like the big Bongo logo on the bottom. If this were a little bit bigger, I probably would have kept it. I actually like it.
Mhm.
It's just kind of short for me. I like if I'm going to wear a sweatshirt, it's got to be like big and baggy. All right, so that was what I had from that house to show. I do have way more, but it's still with Crystal. She's still doing some listing. And then this is some of the other stuff that I got from my friend that sent me her stuff from her mom's estate. This family is a very wealthy family that I've known for a long time. And I didn't pay anything for the stuff. I'm just paid for the shipping. She's sending it to me because she'd rather send it to me than the thrift store to donate. So I do appreciate that. What I have here is a couple of St. John pieces. Again, we all know, not St. John's Bay, but St. John.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little makeup smoosh on it that I've got to wash off, but just the Santana knit by St. John. It's got some really pretty classic pearl buttons on the front. This is the St. John by Marie Gray, which is one of the lower end of the St. John collections. And just a matching long knit skirt. I've got the pants as well.
Ooh.
I will list all these pieces individually, by the way. You don't want to list it as a suit necessarily, unless it's a matchy-matchy suit. I've got a cream-colored skirt as well. More St. John. Most of these, again, are by Marie Gray. And by me saying that's, that's the lower end of St. John. So this skirt was probably $300 or $400 retail instead of like $900 retail. St. John evening wear is the most expensive St. John line. One more St. John piece. It's also St. John Basics. This is kind of like a step up from the other one. And this is just
what will you list all these
zip
for?
Cardigan. So I would say, so I didn't pay anything for them. The jackets themselves, the two sweater jackets, probably $200 a piece. The pants about $175, and each skirt maybe $125 to $150.
All right.
These are little bins find from a few weeks ago. These are some Tory Burch suede flats. They're bejeweled flats.
Bejeweled.
Yeah, they're a little scrunched in the back, but they're nice black suede. The toe tip has a little bit of wear, but that's about it. I think I'm just going to do a little brush on that or a little polish on the front of it and brush it in. And because the soles are in good shape, the heels are not worn down. The rest of the shoe is in really nice shape. So I paid about $2 for these. They're pretty lightweight, maybe even less than $2. And that's the worst of it, is that the toes are a little bit scuffed because they're black suede.
Mm-hmm.
I have just a couple more things to show, and then Katy can show you. This came from the old lady's estate as well. This is a vintage Whiting and Davis. Whiting and Davis. It's in the bag. It's a bag, and it's in the box. It's just a basic black sequined bag. They call this the chain metal or chain mesh with leather. I'll probably list this one. I haven't looked at Whiting and Davis in a while. It's definitely come down in value from what it used to be, but I would still probably list that for about $75.
Very nice.
And Gail, I don't know if she made the clothes or bought them that way. She probably made them. That type of stuff was super popular in the 90s. Either she made them or someone she knew made them.
When I say somebody made them, I mean it wasn't like a company store.
All right, this also came from the old lady's house. I didn't pay anything for it. It's not something I normally pick up, but this is clearly Vera Bradley. It's actually a pretty nice print. I think this is new. It does not appear to have any wear or use to it. I believe it's new without tags. It doesn't even have any type of wear in it at all. So I'm just going to do a little research and find the pattern name. It's one of the larger ones. Depending on the pattern, and it might be $25 or it might be $50 or $60. And then a couple other things I got from that woman's house are some older Coach bags. And older Coach bags are the ones that actually have some value, not the cheap fabric ones with the C's repeated all over them. Those are a dime a dozen and they're not worth shit, right? So this one might actually also, no, this is used. It's just a patchwork, leather patchwork. So this one's probably 90s based on this type of style. So this is probably late 90s. Again, I'll look it up a little bit. They're authentic. I'm not concerned with that. This is one of the nicer ones. So I think I can get about $100 for this one. Hey, Will, nice to see you in the chat. Haven't seen you in a bit. Let's see. This is another Coach bag. It's just an ivory. It's got a little spot on it. You can see I've got to clean that up a little bit, but it's leather. The all leather ones definitely sell better. This is early 2000s. I actually had this bag in another color, so I know this one is early 2000s.
Whoa.
Based on the style and the pattern, and then this type of emblem. So this one's also in really nice really nice shape. Actually, almost new. It's just got a little spot right there I need to clean off. And then lastly is this one. Not quite as old, but probably around the same age. This one definitely was her everyday bag because it has some definite scuffing and wear to it. And I think this goes on the other bag. I will have to do some cleaning on this one, but it's a nice like salmon pink color. And again, all leather. So these are the only time that I'm going to be selling Coach bags is if they're really vintage, which is much older than this. Or all leather, and even the vintage ones back then were all leather. So that's when it's worth it for me to sell the Coach bags. I won't even sell a Coach bag that's given to me if it's one of the cheap ones. They're not worth it. They sit forever. Everybody has one. Everybody had 19 Coach bags in the early 2000s. I'm one of those people. And the crap sits forever, and it takes forever to get rid of it. So, and there you go. That's pretty much all I've got to show you. Nothing spectacular. Throw it out of the ballpark. I apologize. But we will be doing some sourcing. I'm actually going to go to the bins this week. It's been too long.
Look at you.
I need a shopping day.
All right. Okay, so I got one little
Box.
bulk buy from my online source that I have. And then I also went to yesterday's Fits like a week and a half ago and bought a few things. So I don't have a ton of stuff, but I've got some cool stuff, I think. First up, I have this vintage Duke hoodie.
You need to get that listed like now.
Yeah. Vintage Duke. This is
I may have a buyer for that.
reverse weave. It's not Champion. It's Cotton Exchange, but it's a 2XL made in the USA. Reverse weave, gray Duke sweatshirt. This is definitely something you need is Duke considered Ivy League? It is, isn't it?
No,
Or it's like just below.
It's just below Ivy League.
Just below Ivy League.
My friend's son goes there, and he is a huge fan. If you watch ESPN, he is the one that is dressed like Big Bird every weekend on the shows, on the games now. It's pretty funny.
Anyway, this is one that I would be selling for at least $100. Probably listing it for $2. But I love it. Next up, this one is probably late 90s, early 2000s, probably late 90s. Bush tour t-shirt. I'll have to look at the dates to figure out what year this is from, what tour it's from.
Well, but depending on what it was, I was probably there.
Yeah. This is on a giant tag. But it says fabric made in US, sewn in Jamaica. But you see that sewn in Jamaica on 80s stuff. But this giant tag is more 90s, early 2000s. I'd say probably late 90s. I'm betting like 98, 99. Not single stitch, it's double stitch, but it's got a really nice even fade to it.
I'm looking to see if there's a Rhode Island date on here. If there's a Rhode Island date, I was there.
This one I think was on the 50% off rack that at yesterday's Fits. So I think I paid like maybe $40 for it.
No East Coast dates, so this is not one that I was at.
Sorry.
We only did, this North Carolina is as far east as it went.
There you go.
Nope, no New England. I didn't go to that. Wasn't that one.
Yeah. That's my Bush t-shirt. And then next up, this one, I just think it's funny. This is a Georgetown sweatshirt. It says Georgetown Discussion Group.
Who were they discussing?
I don't know. George Washington, apparently.
I thought it was going to be the bulldog because that's the symbol, but that's not the bulldog. That's George Washington.
I don't know. But anyway, it's on a jerseys tag. This is a 80s, 90s jerseys tag.
Carrie, your comment was just too easy. I'm surprised Allison hasn't.
This one I paid like
chimed
maybe
in yet.
$10 for. One of the pieces, I think this is the one piece that I did pay up a little bit for. I paid like $60 for this one. All over print, Flintstones, yabba dabba doo. Let's get the whole family on there.
The whole family.
Yep.
That's a cute one.
I think it's a really cute one. I like it a lot.
He's yelling Wilma in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so this one I'll list for like $200 and hope I sell it for like $150. $150. All right. Next, this is like a really awesome, super faded t-shirt. This is from Wilson's Motorcycles in Fresno, California. It's on Oneida tag. So this one is from the 90s, right there. But I think this one's really awesome because it says ride, eat, sleep, repeat, ride, eat, sleep, repeat, all the way down the shirt. And then the back of it, it says roads. We don't need no stinking roads. And it's got all the different companies on it. And you can see the cool motorcycle graphic.
Companies. I don't know if that's motorcycles.
It's a
dirt
dirt
bikes.
bike.
Yeah.
It's dirt bike. Motocross, supercross. Anyway, really cool shirt. This one I paid like maybe $5-10 for, but I will list it probably for $100. Next up is a sweatshirt that is in desperate need of some shaving, some sweater shaving, and then it's going to look real great. But I love this one. It says San Diego, and I don't know if the colors translate as well on this. But
Super bright neon,
super
pink,
bright
blue.
Yep, San Diego. It says surf, volley, beach. But what I love, and this is on a Russell Athletic tag. This is from the 90s.
Russell before it became
Like early 90s.
when it was still the eagle. When it's still the eagle head.
Yep. But this is what I really love. I love the back, and look at all of the different logos on it. So it's got Vision Streetwear, Oakley, Quicksilver. It's got Side Out,
Local Motion.
It's just Massimo, back when Massimo was cool.
That's pretty much all the fun skate and surf brands.
Yep. So really, really cool. And then it's got the down the sleeve graphic as well. So I really like that.
That's a cool sweatshirt.
Yeah, this one I think I paid like $15 for, but I'll list it for $100 probably. This one I still have to process these. This one's real stained, but this I got from my online source. I think it's really cute. It's like, again, I don't think the colors show up as well on the camera, but it's a really vibrant, bright
puffy paint
colors. And this is one of those short sleeve sweatshirts. And this is the tag. This is probably from like the 80s. Hold on a second. This is an 80s tag. I can't see.
You got it. It's there.
There we go. In the USA. But I got it for cheap. I paid like maybe $7.50 for it. So I'll list it for like $50-$60 if I can get the stains out.
If not, she'll probably give it to me.
Also, from my online source, another Oneida, whatever tag, Power T is this awesome ski t-shirt from Purgatory. I love the graphic on this. I love these shirts that have like the wraparound print. This one's really awesome. This would look really cool in like black light, I think. But super cool t-shirt. I paid like maybe $10 for it at most. And but I'll list this one for $70. Next up, just got a couple more. This one, I don't know what this graphic is supposed to mean. So if anybody out there has any ideas, let me know. But this is, it's a skull and crossbones, but it's
the skull smoking cigars.
Smoking cigars. And it's
lacrosse?
Tennis rackets.
No, those are lacrosse rackets.
You sure?
They're
not very long.
They're not tennis rackets.
They're not very long. Usually they're longer than that. But anyway, maybe it's lacrosse. Still.
They're too oblong to be tennis rackets.
The handle's not very long. Usually they're longer handle for lacrosse.
I bet that butterfly shirt would sell on Thrilling. I agree with you.
Probably. Anyway, I think this is a cool shirt. I just don't know what it means, so we'll see. Next up, I think this is super cool. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks it's cool.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it on. There we go. Okay, so this is a Beverly Hills high school sweatshirt. It's got the 58 on it. But the shirt itself is from the 90s. You can see the Russell Athletic.
This is probably a 40-year reunion.
So I looked at it. I'm like, I bet that's class of 58. And so I didn't, when I buy them on this online source, I only have so many pictures and I can't look really close to details. But I'm like, Beverly Hills High, I'm going to get that class of 58. And so then I started looking at the names on here and I'm like, okay, who graduated from Beverly Hills High in the class of 58 that I would even recognize?
That's famous.
And I found, let's see if I can get this up there real close enough. See if anybody out there, I'll give you guys a chance before
It's not
Vikki.
focusing.
Don't say anything.
I'm not saying anything because I don't remember what you said. And it's not focusing. So no
Okay.
one else is going to be able to see
I can see it. It's not super clear, but anyway, it's Nora Ephron is who it is. Yeah, it's not coming in real clear, but Nora Ephron, which for those of you who don't know, for those of you who may know, screenwriter. She did Sleepless in Seattle and
You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail, and I think When Harry Met Sally, I think she wrote that one as well.
Pretty much everything Meg Ryan did in the 90s.
Pretty much. But I think that's super cool. I'm hoping there's somebody out there who's going to be like,
I bet Melvin Lansky is somebody too.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's other people in here who worked in the industry. It's just whether or not they're going to be
Robert
recognizable.
Graham. Is it Robert Graham, the designer? I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway,
It's possible.
It's possible. It could happen. And then the last thing is these, they have these Tyvek jackets for like events and stuff like that. This one made in Italy. This one I love.
Fancy.
It's
for when you
I paid
want to
like
swish
maybe $10 for
when
it.
you walk into a room.
But it's Z100. I think everybody at least on the East Coast had a Z100 radio station. I know in Oregon we did. It's like a rock station. And in the back it says Z100 Party Patrol. So it's
got the beach. It's got a beach thing.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much I'll list this for. I don't know. There might be other ones out there, so who knows? But just one of these like kind of weird Tyvek jackets. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
That's all I see. Teresa knows who. Of course, Teresa knows who Nora Ephron is.
Yeah, I mean, it has the list of all the names. I would say it's worth looking into some of those names.
Well, I mean, I had looked up like, famous people who graduated from Beverly Hills High, and you can find like a whole list of them, and then from 1958. So I think she's like the only one that's like super well known. From that,
And to flip it, are there humans with waists that small? There are. I mean, the waist was stretchy.
So that's what you saw. It does stretch out quite a bit.
Yeah, it does stretch out. But yeah, my daughter probably.
Yeah. Anyway,
my daughter that's 29 and weighs 85 pounds soaking wet.
That's it.
That's all we got. This is a short show, guys. An hour and 13 minutes.
I know, and we don't really quite have our flow back because we haven't done this for so long. And frankly, I'm still exhausted because every day pretty much is like
never ending,
nonstop. 5,000 things to do.
We're going to do more when we get off the show. Yep. Finish up my shipping room so I can ship out of there tomorrow. Instead, I've been shipping out of the living room, the table. It's just anyway.
One of the days, I think my best day for activities. I got my little Fitbit watch. Is I did like over 25,000 steps, and I'm going up and down stairs constantly. So over 25,000 steps, and I did like over 55 stories I climbed. So ridiculous.
It's a lot. But anyway,
ridiculous.
We do expect to be 100% ready to be on camera and give you guys a little tour of the house next Sunday. And for those of you that are coming to our meetup in 2 weeks around the 16th, obviously you'll get a firsthand tour for our local friends. Oh, and apparently we've got to go get Ripley. Ripley has not actually been upstairs because we have so many things not put where they're supposed to be put yet. The dogs have been gated downstairs in their in the living room, in the family room, in the kitchen. It's a big area, trust me, and the backyard. So they haven't actually seen the upstairs part of the house at all. So this is Ripley's inaugural trip upstairs. So she's probably going to freak out because she's not familiar with it. Speaking of, the dogs actually settled in very quickly. We have a big backyard with a lot of astroturf for them to run around in, and they love it, as opposed to our backyard before. It was pretty small and had desert landscaping, which basically means a bunch of rocks and not fun to run in. So now they love having a huge backyard. They're constantly doing zoomies back and forth, all three of them. Grizz rolls around on the AstroTurf, pretty much comes into the house covered in crap every day. So they love the yard and they love the space. Luna, our middle child, my Chihuahua, was very nervous the first couple of days and walked around with her tail tucked between her legs, hiding in corners. But she's okay now. She was very nervous.
This one started shivering the second I started going up the stairs. She's like, I don't know where I am. Yeah, she's gonna hide her little head.
So say hi, Ripley. She's full grown now at this point.
Yep.
She's as big as Luna.
You're okay.
She's a good 8 to 9 pounds now. And we just made her appointment. She's got her pre-op appointment this week to get
Wednesday.
to get spayed.
Yeah, to get her little ovaries snipped.
Yeah, we got to get her spayed soon because she's at 7 months now.
Dude, you're so squirmy and yeah, she doesn't want to look at anybody.
No, sorry guys.
She gets
Hi.
real nervous.
Turn your chair. There you go. You can see her little face.
Yeah.
So that's
She's a
it.
good girl.
That's our show for the week, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for tuning in. Sorry that it's the content was a little lame this week. We apologize, but I promise we'll be back. We'll be back on track by next week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have some good stuff to show.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we'll have some sales.
Mm-hmm.
Got to pay for this obnoxiously large house somehow. So
It's true. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate you. And
everybody have a great week.
Yep. We will see you next week. And
Ripley, say goodbye.
she's like, I
Bye.
don't know what the hell's going on.
Bye.